In the spring of 2008, I had the most amazing revelation after a run on a beach in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm not sure where the insight came from, but when it hit me, it almost blew my mind. The aha of that moment made nearly every question I'd ever had about women, as both a single guy and a married man, crystal clear. Want to know what that revelation was? Keep watching. Hey, I'm Dr. Robert Glover, the author of No More Mr. Nice Guy, Dating Essentials for Men, and Positive Emotional Tension. Okay, back to that run on the beach in Puerto Vallarta. What was the insight that changed my life and turned everything I'd ever believed about women upside down? What transformed me from being a nice guy loser with the ladies to a total chick magnet? Here it is. Women have to experience emotional tension with a man in order to feel attraction, attachment, and sexual arousal. That's it. In that moment, it all became clear. Everything I'd ever done wrong with women, everything I'd ever done right with women, but didn't know why. Everything I'd seen or heard women say that just made absolutely no sense to me. I was blown away. I ran back to my room and wrote a dozen pages on how to apply this new revelation. Those notes became the information I'm sharing here with you. Here are the basics. First, for a woman to be attracted to a man, she has to feel emotional tension with him. This often gets translated into physical and sexual desire. Second, for a woman to stay attached to a man over time, such as in a long-term relationship, she has to regularly feel emotional tension with him. Third, and here's where the core of the problem lies for most men when it comes to attracting and arousing women. In general, we men hate emotional tension, especially in our relationships. We men want things secure, smooth, and predictable. Houston, we've got a problem. Women have to experience emotional tension with a man in order to be attracted to him, feel sexually aroused by him, and want to keep coming back for more. But, now that's a but in capital letters, men hate the very thing that women have to be attracted to and turned on by a man. Can you see where we might have a problem? These realities explain why single men fail to create attraction with women by being nice, and why many women in their long-term relationships lose sexual desire for their partner over time. No tension. Here are the two biggest tension mistakes I see men make with women. Mistake number one. Men go out of their way to avoid tension with women. Since we men hate emotional tension, especially with women, why would we want to create it? In fact, I've often had men ask me, Robert, can you change the name of what you call this thing you're talking about? Because I hate tension. Nope, can't change the name because we're dealing with reality here. So we're going to find out what it's all about and how you can use it to your advantage. If you're single and seem to struggle attracting women or often end up in the friend zone, it's probably because when you meet a woman, you invest all your energy in trying to get her approval. You don't take risks. You listen to her talk too much. You don't touch her or tease her. You buy her drinks and volunteer to help her sister move. Your niceness creates no tension. She gets bored. Next thing you know, she's gone to the restroom and never comes back. After several experiences like this, you assume women just aren't attracted to you or they only date jerks. So you either avoid women altogether or you get nicer and try even harder to please them. If you're in a relationship, you may frequently find your partner is too tired or too busy to have sex. The sex you do have feels boring and routine. Maybe your woman is frequently irritable and seems to enjoy pointing out your faults. Perhaps she is withdrawn or has become overly invested in her job, the kids, food, shopping, social media, or television. All of these things occur when whatever tension that used to exist in your relationship has long since disappeared. If this sounds like your relationship, you probably don't take risks in any way. You keep things to yourself. You avoid rocking the boat. You avoid conflict. And you withhold the truth. You don't ask for what you want. You try to please your woman and make her happy by giving her everything she wants. All of this kills emotional tension, along with her trust and her sex drive. Here's a second emotional tension mistake men make. We quickly try to eliminate any tension a woman creates. Now, listen to this. The truth is, for many women, drama is foreplay. If you are not consciously creating positive emotional tension, or PET, as I call it, women will tend to create negative emotional tension. The shit tests, the sighs, the criticism, the complaining, cabinet doors slamming, accusations, yellings, attacks, and withdrawing. These are all forms of negative emotional tension, or NET. Since a woman needs to experience emotional tension to feel attracted to you and stay attached to you over time, she will create her own type of emotional tension if you don't. Now, before we move on, let me interject here. You have a choice. You can either consciously create positive emotional tension, which tends to feel good to everybody involved, or leave it to her to create negative emotional tension, which I guarantee doesn't feel good to you. Now, to the woman, she doesn't care. It doesn't matter if it's PET or NET. She's got to feel emotional tension. So here's the bottom line, gentlemen. No matter how much a woman may like you or love you, no matter how badly she might want to be attracted to you, no matter how much she would love to fuck your brains out, if she doesn't feel emotional tension with you, she will either quickly lose interest and move on, or will have to create negative emotional tension. Let me introduce you to the Positive Emotional Tension video course. I've been teaching this course since that run on the beach. And in this 8-lesson course, I explain and illustrate the principles and practices of positive emotional tension and teach you how to create the kind of PET that naturally and biologically turns women on. If you are single, it will change how you relate to every woman you meet. If you're in a relationship, it will transform you and the woman you love. No matter your relationship status, positive emotional tension will improve your sex life in ways you can't even begin to imagine. I will teach you how to create positive emotional tension, not as a technique to manipulate women, but as a way of living that invites a woman into a deep connection with you. Whether you are single and want to learn how to create instant attraction with women, or you're in a long-term relationship that's lost its spark, this course, PET, will transform your life. In this 8-lesson video course, you will learn why it's essential for women to feel emotional tension, to experience attraction and attachment to a man, how men fail to create emotional tension, how men kill what tension does exist, how positive and negative emotional tension differ, how to stop being nice and seeking women's approval, how to pass a woman's shit test, how to set the tone and take the lead with women, how to stay out of the friend zone, how to create instant and overpowering attraction and arousal with a woman the first time you meet her or many years after that initial contact, how to create daily habits that build and maintain positive emotional tension, how to practice the 3 rules for great sex, how to deal with feminine drama, how to stop trying to get unavailable women to be available and trying to get unaroused women aroused, how to make your relationship cheat-proof, how to avoid ever taking anything a woman ever does personally. After completing the Positive Emotional Tension course, you will not only understand the principles of PET, but you will also have a confident grasp of how to practice these principles. Now, I have to warn you, this is powerful stuff. I often tell men that when they create positive emotional tension with a woman, it's like holding cheese in front of a schnauzer. Now, I'm not being disrespectful or condescending to women or schnauzers, but when a man practices the principles of PET with a woman, it often lights her up so powerfully that it scares the average guy to death and sends him running. I call this effect the feminine cloud of desire. This is that look, the body language, the pursuit, the longing, the text messages, the phone calls late at night, the sexual innuendo, the not wanting to leave, the pestering for more sex. And I'm not talking about from you, I'm talking about from her. Even though we men think we can handle a woman wanting us 24/7, it can be pretty scary when you experience it firsthand. PET will help you learn how to stay present even when a big part of you wants to run and hide. Here's the best part about mastering the principles of positive emotional tension. Practicing PET isn't about what you're going to get from a woman. It isn't about how to turn a woman on, make her like you, make her horny, get her into your bed, make her happy, or keep her sane. Positive emotional tension, as I teach it, is a roadmap towards masculine consciousness and mastery. An authentic confidence that naturally attracts all things feminine: women, cats, dogs, money, opportunity, adventure, and penetrates them with the depth of your being. This is a power that puts a dent in the universe and takes a woman places she's never been before and can't take herself. Practicing the principles of positive emotional tension will grow you as a man like almost nothing else can. PET is a gift you give to women and the world. If you are ready to show up, grow up, and drive women crazy in all the best ways, the 8-lesson Positive Emotional Tension course will teach you how. PET will change the way you relate to women and the world forever. Are you ready? Click the registration link below, and I'll see you in class.